On the job this morning, we have covered back to school, but what about the grads who are now done with school and have just entered the workforce? How are they handling the transition from student to employee? It's a big one, and here to help ease some of the concerns and fears is our friend Rebecca Risk, Metro Market Manager for Robert Half and Accountemps in Providence. Good morning, Rebecca.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Lots to talk about here, a very important topic. You know, a lot of these young people out there who have been in school, they've been full-time students, now trying to make that transition. Some of the numbers are really high here. You know, your company found that 42% of new grads are fearful that perhaps they've selected, you know, the wrong career. So why are so many of these young people nervous as they sort of dive in?
I think it's natural. I mean, the fear of the unknown tends to cause anxiety, and I also think that the grass is always greener on the other side. I think, you know, advice for those people that do feel that way, I think, you know, live in the moment, take advantage of the experience that you have and try to make the most of it. If you're constantly worried about what else is out there, you're not going to learn from the experience you're in.
Yeah, being present is a huge thing, absolutely. Not just in your career, but in life in general. That's great advice. Now, many students for years we've heard that internships are a great way to sort of get your foot in the door. Are they still as commonplace as they were before? I mean, do you still recommend them? And if students out there are participating, are they really getting the skills that they need to make that transition, or are they lacking some of the skills?
So I think internships are really still very common, and students that do participate in them come out of them with some great transferable skills. So I think those people are fortunate, but not everybody can take advantage of an internship. You know, so I think there's other things people can do, you know, summer jobs, volunteer work, temporary work, to gain that experience that they need that can be similar to what someone comes out of an internship with.
You know, first of all, look at me. I interned right here at WPRI 12, and look at me now. So they do absolutely work. And if, you know, let's talk about the students out there who don't have that job to dive right into. If we do have one, we're very fortunate. But for those who are still searching, let's talk practical advice and really what can they do, because that can be an extremely daunting task.
Sure, it's very stressful too. You know, so I think for students that are graduating, tapping into their colleges and universities, you know, tapping into their professors, into the career centers, into alumni networks, that's great. Do your homework. If you're looking for a job and you're applying for a position, you know, make sure that you're tailoring your resume to that specific position. Make sure you know a little bit about the company, practice your interview skills, and then also do temporary work. If you haven't found a job, a temporary work can help you to find what you like, what you don't like. It gives you a lot of the transferable skills that you ultimately do need.
It's amazing too how small the world has become with the internet, of course. You can really connect with anybody, and just having your eyes and ears open and just talking to people, connecting with them in a variety of ways can really lead to that career.
Absolutely.
Great stuff, Rebecca. Thank you
so
much
much
as always.